I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Chicago Bears. With that, let's get out to venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Standing by with the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just a beautiful afternoon for football, Coach. They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they, too, were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
It's always fun to check in on the Chargers when Melvin Gordon's carrying the football. And in 2018, he averaged over 5 yards per attempt. But even more importantly, he put the ball in the end zone 14 times, his best scoring season in his young career.
Hey, 180. 57. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
Melvin Gordon, the 2-time Pro Bowler. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented Teddy Bridgewater.
And coming up of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It's too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. And now a look at the offense for Chicago.
It's not often we start a game talking about an offensive lineman, but with Quentin Nelson, I absolutely have to do that. The rookie out of Notre Dame transformed not only an offensive line in 2018, he transformed an offense. In fact, he was the only guard ever named Rookie of the Month, and he did so in October of last year.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Switch up.
Throwing, Bridgewater. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Melvin Gordon, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints have taken the early lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A first carry here for Ty Montgomery. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Let's have a look at the defensive starters for New Orleans. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game, because they are facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means it's going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch out.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They'll run with a second-year man from ASU, Kalen Ballage. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance, but a short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said...
Oh, it springs free. Montgomery loses it. And this is picked up by the Saints. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Back to throw. Stafford. He throws, and he hits the slant route to Thomas. First catch there for Thomas. It's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Ready. Go 20. Watch the screen. Pass.
Stafford on first down. He finds his target, Terrence Williams. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a 13-yard pickup as the downs reset.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Deion Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Stafford. And that's incomplete. He was trying to hit Melvin Gordon there. And it's third down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
When they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league. So there's the conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Play action. Stafford. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. Third and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. The safety blitz works perfectly that time for Landon Collins.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Mike's 47. Mike's 47. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. Yeah. Banjo.
They just do get the play off. Now Bridgewater. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And down he'll go at the 25. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4. Now.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on second down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out first and 10. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Personally, I think they've got to go somewhere else with the football. They've got to bracket it out there in double coverage. Makes it hard to fit it in time after time.
It would have had to have been an absolutely perfect pass and not good enough. Throwing on third down, Stafford. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On third down, Bridgewater. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
So we have to remember, this offensive unit, they've been off for the last 2 weeks. Had an open week, and so it might take them a little while to get back into rhythm. I know they worked hard to try and get past that in practice, but practice isn't game speed.
It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
something
well.
else. And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Ready. At 80. 58, come on. 3 bucks.
On first and 10, Stafford. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now a throw here to his running back. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of
under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Khalil Mack in there for the sack on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 14 upcoming. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 14 upcoming. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Deion Buchanan drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. On 2nd and 9, Bridgewater going deep down. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 37. A huge play there for Chicago. 42 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Safety's go. Check. Crunch. Crunch. Crunch.
They'll run here with Balaj. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Throw left side, complete to Ross. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
They run it with Balaj. And he stopped immediately there. The tackle there by Breanne Body Calhoun. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 11 yards there, first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll run for it with Montgomery. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Check 52.
Second down and goal. Bridgewater to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Strong safety Landon Collins, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. Go! Go, go!
Third and goal for Bridgewater. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Chris Conley, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. Elliott good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. The false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on second down. Throwing is Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Saints on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. The shotgun snap for Stafford. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bears take over. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there and handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
Right there in the middle. 54.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. The throw over the middle, taken in. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now they'll run the option to the short sideline. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know. Defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
I enjoyed watching Robert Quinn in pregame warm-ups with you down on the field. Did it surprise you how tall and angular he is? You wouldn't think he'd be able to play against the run that well, would you?
But he can, and he showed it right there, didn't he?
That's that wrestling background he has. He understands leverage as well as anyone in the game. A big-time wrestler in high school. He didn't lose very often.
3-time heavyweight state champ in South Carolina. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here. Here now a look at Melvin Gordon. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way. as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Throwing again on second down. Stafford, it's a first down on a gain of 10.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Over the middle, complete. It's Andrews. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Looking to throw again on second down. Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Stafford going to come up first and 10, and he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Stafford looks to throw again. Throwing right side, that's complete. Demaryius Thomas. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Stafford here. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Stafford going to come up first and 10, and he's hit on his last 7 straight passes. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. To throw again on second down. Stafford. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will do it for this first half. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Baker Mayfield, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, we head down to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting L.A. Chargers. Sony Michel, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Raiders. Andrew Luck, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Time to take a glance into what we've seen so far from Teddy Bridgewater. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it.
The drive will commence with a run by Balaj. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 2nd and 9, Bridgewater, throw left side complete. That's Ross. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The Bears on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. Here it's 3rd and 2. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. On 2nd down, it's Montgomery. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Third and short yardage, Bridgewater. Hard throw, incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses?
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Stafford now to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by K'Von Webster. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That's 2 really good stops in a row. Back-to-back tackles for losses. I mean, let's face it, they are locked into what they're doing offensively, and now they've earned the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, haven't they?
Yeah, and offensively, they're going to have to do something else because the run game, at least on this drive, isn't working. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran.
Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Bears. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Again, it's Balaj, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. Steps away, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Bud Dupree able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. We talk about some terrific athletes. We're trying to put them on the ground.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Gordon. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football, he's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Stafford. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Christian Kirk, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints, if they convert the extra point, they'll have the lead.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense, but when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will put them on top here in the 3rd. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. Don't like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
Now Malage. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now Gordon, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now this throw caught left side, and he's going to get this inside the 30. 16 yards, a 1st down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Stafford now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford. The Saints on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 4. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. Now it's Stafford. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They pushing back to the 34. Deion Jones in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either way.
Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Blue there. Mike's 47. Mike's 47. And I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. That's caught over the middle by Fant. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Now Bridgewater. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. That catch good for 5. It's third down, and this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Check. Hey, 47. Check my 47. Cut.
Bridgewater again. This is caught by Jackson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Bears on the move. They've got another first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. And again, it's Bridgewater. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both.
And he will fight his way in. Not giving up there, and he's got a Bears touchdown. Ty Montgomery, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears have retaken the lead. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it was all capped on the touchdown run by Ty Montgomery. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 12 yards as they get to reset the sticks. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Khalil Mack able to record his 5th sack of the season. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now Stafford shakes off the sack. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mark Andrews, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints have retaken the lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That time a 6-play drive. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Onto the field now come the Bears. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll stay on the ground. Balaj again. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there was just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one goes for 30 yards.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play was rush coming, and he's taken down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side. Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Demario Davis, who was the Saints' leading tackler in his first year in New Orleans, in on the stop. 3rd and long. It's Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Agnew now to return. It's a net of 40 there. Punt of 48 and a return of 8. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
Come to me, it's me. 4-7's the mic, 4-7's the mic.
Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
First down, here's the run to Montgomery. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he's reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. You hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Getting set to go again here, Teddy Bridgewater coming back onto the field. A field goal does them no good. They need a touchdown.
And right now, in his mind, in his memory bank, he's drawing on times that he's done this before. Not necessarily in the NFL. College, high school, pee-wee ball, wherever. Anything positive that he remembers about taking a team downfield with a chance to win, he's going to draw on that for this drive.
I'm sure that these guys live for these moments. Here we go. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
You think you gonna get this? You think you gonna get this? 4-7's the mic. 4-7's the mic.
On second down, Bridgewater again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Mike's 47. Mike's 47. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Mike 47. Hey, defense.
First down, Bridgewater. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for. But it's going to be second down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
4-7's the mic. 4-7's the mic. Who that?
He's back to throw. Buying time to his left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down.
Check Mike 47. We ain't giving up nothing today. 47's the mic, boy. 47. Go. Check 47. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
Bridgewater. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
47's the mic. 40. Hey, tighten down. There you go. 47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Now Bridgewater. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time, and it'll bring up third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the...
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked picked off by Breanne Bonnie Calhoun. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Lady! I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy road victory, one they can hang their hat on. So for the Saints, they move back over 500.